Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that.
Why romance is a form of psychological warfare that is used against women. Women are not meant to be caged. For some women, I will go so far as to say women should be carefree, they should be like water just flowing, they should be wild, and some women deserve to be feral. I said it, feral.
And I don't even really think the issue with Ayesha Curry is her marriage. I just think that she's a woman that didn't get to have a Heaux-Phase.
It's very interesting to hear the groundswell of support of many young ladies for Ayesha Curry, but when you hear them speaking about her situation, essentially what they're saying is that she did not get her proper rite of passage, that there's something that's near and dear to them that if you don't get it, it's almost as if it's not fair. And what might that rite of passage be for these young ladies?
I think it's important that the ladies watching this that are going through the Heaux-Phase don't feel bad about your Heaux-Phase, but also don't let it be a crutch. Don't let it be the reason why you don't grow, because I'm very big on who you allow in your space and in your environment will totally influence you as a person. So if long term you want marriage, you want to have that special person, at some point you cannot allow your Heaux-Phase to be a crutch and just say, well, this is just what I'm doing, knowing in the back of your mind what you really want.
This is a woman who basically said Heaux-Phase and marriage in the same sentence. Now, I'm not going to fault her one way or the other. It's her prerogative thinking what she wants to think, but at some point the logic has to come in. Why is a man going to marry a woman coming out of her Heaux-Phase? What is the purpose of getting married if you're not one of the guys that she's having fun with during her phase? You have to think of all of those guys, where they were, what little they did for her, how they had her arranged. And to think that after all of that, you're going to put a ring on her finger and say that she's your special young lady? It's a kind of blindness that it just makes me shake my head that these young ladies think that guys are going to continue to move the same way. But hey, welcome to 2025. They got to have their rite of passage.
Ayesha Curry is a perfect example of why it is so important to have a Heaux-Phase. Go be a hoe. Be a hoe. But be a safe hoe though. Like, protect yourself and don't get pregnant. That's why she's sitting over there feeling trapped. Trapped with Steph Curry. Sometimes you gotta go through some stuff to really appreciate what you have. She probably ain't never been hoed. She probably ain't never been drugged through the mud by a dude. She probably never been. She probably never had her heart broken time and time and time again. That's why she can't really appreciate what she has, because it's like, I need something edgy. I need something fun. Like this mom stuff. This being married to Steph Curry, this is boring. And now she's really rebelling. She want to be in the streets. She want to be desired by other men. She probably want to do something with another man, because she probably never experienced that. Like, when did they get together? Like high school or something? That is not enough time to be out in the world and do stuff and experience stuff. Like, you don't have to experience a whole lot.
She didn't say anything wrong. A lot of women get married and pregnant in their early 20s before they actually know themselves and before they know what they actually want to do with their lives. A lot of it is because of the societal pressures that's placed on women. You can't wait until your 30s or 40s because then you'll be too old. And in your 20s, you shouldn't be worried about a career or your education or starting a business, because then you might run the risk of losing an opportunity to be somebody's wife and have somebody's baby. And that's the stupidest shit that was taught to us.
And I just feel like people aren't used to women having opinions in relationships and whatnot. So when Ayesha Curry talks, people feel some type of way about it. And I'm like, but honestly, what did she say in that interview that got y'all so triggered? Because I listened to it from beginning to end and there was not one thing. Ayesha Curry didn't say anything wrong. I just believe y'all are committed to just not liking that woman. And I think a lot of it stems from jealousy, if we're being quite honest. Like, seriously, what do y'all want this woman to do? Like, do y'all want her to kiss the ground of the floor that her husband walks on?
Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. Because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that like someone's looking. I have anxiety too, really, really bad, to the point where I actually take like medication.
Over the years, Ayesha Curry has said some things that has made a lot of people kind of raise their eyebrow. I think there was a comment she made about wanting to be wanted by people other than her husband, wanting to be hot or something like that. There were some other comments that she made. And to me personally, Ayesha Curry is the perfect example of what I always talk about in my content, which is women giving up their lives to build the career of their husband. You will wake up one day and not recognize who you are. You will look up one day and want something of your own. Every time I hear a celebrity talk about their mom who gave up her life to build them up or to build their dad up or to build the family up, it's always with sadness. You know, I wanted to give my mom a car because she's given up so much. It's always pity. I mean, they're thankful, but it's always, you know, feeling bad for them.
Also, I feel so bad for Ayesha Curry, and the way that men respond to her every time she's honest about the realities of motherhood and wifehood is exactly why I never wanted to be a wife or a mother. Men act like saying anything less than "it's the most amazing thing that ever happened in my life and I wouldn't trade it for the world" is blasphemy. Like, and it's because it disrupts this fantasy world that they live in, where they think all women want is to clean my dirty drawers and raise my children. That's all they want. And once they have that, they'll be happy.
A lot of the brouhaha around what's going on with Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry may seem on the surface to be like, I can't understand why all of these women have such a problem with the fact that she's voicing the fact that she's having difficulties finding a level of comfort in her marriage. But having spent some time in this space, what I've come to understand, and many of my compatriots in this space understand, is that the issue is not that she's with Steph Curry and she just not living the life that she wants to, because her life is pretty awesome. I mean, here she's at the US Open basically being treated like a starlet. The real issue is that she is supposed to get a Heaux-Phase and then she's supposed to get all of this. That's the issue. I am supposed to be able to go out and do whatever I want with whomever I choose to, and then there's supposed to be a Steph Curry at the end waiting for me. And that's where this nexus comes together. All of these young ladies are saying Ayesha Curry or her substitute is so awesome that she should have a chance to go sow her oats, if you will. Much like, I guess, the top whatever percentile or decimal or percentile of men can do. But they don't consider the fact that maybe Steph Curry, probably the best shooter, no, he is the best shooter ever to pick up a basketball, might say, I don't want a woman that's had a lot of other NBA basketball players or their babies. And simply put, those women think that his idea of not wanting that is simply unfair.
Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that.
They say that 70% of divorces are initiated by women. And if she's college educated, that number jumps to 90%. Ooh. So the question is why? What is making so many women walk away? The answer, in my opinion, is simple. Women are not leaving because they're bored. Women are not leaving because they're ungrateful. Women are not leaving because they want to even. Women are leaving because they're tired of doing everything. Women are expected to work like they don't have children and parent like they don't have jobs. Women are the emotional support system, the household CEO, the default parent, the one who remembers birthday parties and field trip forms and the pediatrician's number and what size shoe the kids wear in each and every brand. And beyond the logistics, women are tired of being the emotional punching bag, tired of absorbing everyone's moods, tired of regulating everyone else's nervous systems, especially those of other adults who can't even regulate their own.
What's funny about this message, and I'm sure that you deal with this the same way that I do, is that if you have been anywhere close to this content and you open up Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, this is what you get on a 24/7 basis. There are just more and more and more young ladies saying men need to do more. Men need to have more money. Steph Curry needs to be washing dishes. Steph Curry needs to come home and babysit after he scored 40 points because the wife is doing the emotional load. She's the family CEO. exaggerating a little bit, but if you ask many of these young ladies, what they're going to tell you is that the reason why Ayesha Curry is so upset is because she's getting a quote unquote raw deal. Now, for many of those young ladies, that might feel justified. But if you're a guy and you're looking at Steph Curry, you're thinking, they're complaining about Steph Curry? I don't have a chance. I got to make $250,000 and then I got to come home after working 80 hours a week, wash dishes, be, emotional support, take care of children, and still might be upset about something. How do you win that? And the answer for more and more guys is simple. It's just an untenable game. You can't win that game. And so what many of these young ladies are simply saying is that even if you're Ayesha Curry, she is being oppressed by the ideals, the expectations of society on a wife, living in a multi-million-dollar mansion and living a starred lifestyle with kids that are stars almost themselves. That still is oppression. So what does that say to the average guy that's trying to have a romantic relationship when these young ladies are saying romance itself is a tool of oppression? Plug up the Xbox, plug up the PlayStation 5, and wait for Grand Theft Auto 6. Because regular guys don't have a chance if this is called oppression. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.